Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 47. śreyān sva-dharmo viguṇaḥ, para-dharmāt sv-anuṣṭhitāt, svabhāva-niyataṁ karma, kurvan nāpnoti kilbiṣam. So far, what we have learned is that no one should give up their prescribed duties as per the varnashrama. That by itself will get one fixed in the self. That is, it will get one dhyana nishta. Karma yoga will give us dhyana nishta and will take us close to bhakti yoga. And finally, one attains moksha. Now let's get introduced to two terms, anga and angi. Anga means accessory or something preliminary to obtain something. Angi is that which is achieved through anga, through that accessory. To easily understand, I want to join a university. That becomes angi. For that, I need to do my grades in my school, starting from first grade, second grade, third grade, and so forth. So these schooling becomes preliminary requirement to obtain the college, the university I am going to join. So the preliminary act or things that's done are anga, limbs, whereas the one I want to achieve at the end is angi, and that is achieved only if we have the accessory, that is anga. Now let's understand what we have covered so far with these two terms. Varnashrama dharma is anga, whereas karma yoga is angi. That is, varnashrama dharma is the accessory to obtain the karma yoga, which is the angi. What is obtained through karma yoga is dhyana nishta, that is atma sakshatkara. Karma yoga by itself is an anga, whereas the bhakti yoga is the angi. That is, karma yoga is the accessory to obtain the bhakti yoga, which is the angi. And this bhakti yoga is the one which gives us Bhagavat Sakshatkara, God realization. Now let's take this to a further step. Bhakti yoga is anga, whereas moksha prapti, that is obtaining liberation, is the angi. That is, the bhakti yoga is the accessory to obtain moksha, the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the angi. So varnashrama dharma is anga for karma yoga, which is angi. Karma yoga is anga for bhakti yoga, which is angi. Bhakti yoga is anga, whereas moksha is the angi. Therefore, one needs to carefully examine first which suits for them, either karma yoga or jnana yoga. We also discussed that what is obtained through jnana yoga can be obtained by doing karma yoga itself. So it is better to do one's duty than trying to do someone else, and that is the theme of this particular sloka. Now let's understand the meaning of the sloka. Sva-dharmaha, one's own occupation. To the karma yogi, the karma yoga which is dharma. Viguṇaḥ, though somewhat imperfectly performed, that is, somewhat defective in executing, practicing, sva-anuṣṭhitāt, will appear perfectly done. Para-dharmāt, than others' occupation. śreyān is better, is much superior. svabhāva-niyataṁ, ordained by the Shastras as his karma, the duty, kurvan, he who performs kilbiṣam, the sinful reactions, nāpnoti, does not attain. That is to say, a person performing another man's duty will get nowhere. He will be in this samsara. In other words, they will not obtain liberation. Translation: it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. Sva-dharmā, one's dharma. Why Krishna is saying one's dharma rather than just saying dharma or mentioning directly karma yoga? What is this sva-dharma, one's dharma? Let's go back to the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna wanted to quit his duties that has been prescribed for him. He was a Kshatriya, which is the anga for karma yoga, and take jnana yoga by entering into the forest to do full-fledged meditation. But one who's embodied, the body is based on 4 varnas. We have gone through this one, and that is due to the 3 gunas, which again based on one's karma and activities that they have done in their previous lives. Therefore, what is very familiar and what one is comfortably doing for several lifetimes is going to be their dharma, one's dharma. That which is easy for him to do is his dharma. That which has less choice to make mistakes and fall down is his dharma. Since birth, that which he is comfortable doing is his dharma. Therefore Krishna says sve often in these set of slokas that one should do one's dharma. But whereas jnana yoga is not the same case. It is challenging, difficult, not familiar, not right from birth. If one does not achieve the goal by performing jnana yoga in that very lifetime, they have to start over again from the next life. Whereas karma yoga does not have that particular problem. One gets engaged easily as soon as one takes birth in activities. Whereas those who have done jnana yoga in the previous life cannot start jnana yoga immediately after the birth. So for us common people, is controlling senses easy, or using the senses is an easy program? We know the answer. Controlling senses is not a familiar program for us, is not an easy task for us. Rather, we are very expert in engaging our senses in activities. So that which we are familiar is our swadharma. That which we are not familiar with and which is difficult is referred here as para-dharmāt. Well, one may say, well, it is not familiar, but I don't think it is difficult. Can I make that as swadharma? And that is what has been addressed here in the sloka. The answer is no. If it is not yours, then it is para-dharmāt. You better do swadharma, your dharma, than taking up someone else's dharma, which is not meant for you. There are 2 different commentaries are given on this swadharma. One explanation is Srila Prabhupada's, which is based on Baladev Vidya Bhushan's commentaries, that swadharma refers to respective varnashrama dharma. That is, Brahmana doing Brahmana's duties, Kshatriya doing his own Kshatriya duty, likewise Vaishya does his duties and Shudra does his duties. And these duties we have already covered in the previous slokas, and that is called sva-dharma. When a Brahmana tries to do Kshatriya's duties, or a Kshatriya tries to do Brahmana's duties, then it is said para-dharmāt. It is not his duty, is doing someone else's dharma. Whatever one has practiced and familiar, that which comes from the previous karma vasanas, previous activities, is one's sva-dharma. That means Brahmana does his duties, not the duty of a Kshatriya, Vaishya or a Sudra. Kshatriya does his duties, does not get engaged in the duties of a Brahmana, Vaishya and or Shudra. Another explanation is given by Sripad Ramanujacharya is that para-dharma refers to jnana yoga, whereas sva-dharma refers to karma yoga in this context. But the underlying point, irrespective of these differences, is that one stick on to one's duty, which will by itself help one to progress spiritually. Let's consider a scenario where a person has done karma yoga for 40%, and whereas another person who has done jnana yoga 100%. One may get attracted to rather give up karma yoga and take up jnana yoga because one has seen someone has achieved 100% result. But Krishna's program is that you better off doing karma yoga even though it is only 40%, not 100%. When compared to jnana yoga, it is still karma yoga which is greater than the jnana yoga, because it is better that one does his dharma than doing someone else's dharma. That is to say, one is better off doing karma yoga as his duty than trying to do jnana yoga, which is someone else's duty. Does this mean karma yoga is greater than jnana yoga? Answer is no. If no, why I have to do karma yoga? Why I can't do jnana yoga, which is greater than karma yoga? Let's find the answer in the next set. Namaste. Hare Krishna.